Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today, keep this down. We're going to be talking about fragrances that are so attention-grabbing that when you pass by a lady, you're not going to be able to resist. And I know this for a fact because all of these fragrances were chosen by these highly esteemed fragrance professors right here. Of course, the leader of this group doesn't have a head or a brain, and it's basically just showing you its fat cheeks, but it's guaranteed. Just, it's good.
Give your meat a good old rub.
I mean, honestly, this bottle's kind of thick. It's
spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
Everything is linked below. We begin with Armani code. That's forward. More specifically, the Eau de Parfum, the EDP, the new version, as you can see by the bottle. I'm almost rhyming like Dr. Seuss. So this new version of the Eau de Parfum, it smells nothing like the old version of the Eau de Parfum. One of those little trickeroonies that these fragrance companies occasionally pull on us, where they're like, hell man, keep the name the same, but go ahead and just change everything else about it. That way, somebody who doesn't make fragrances their entire life has no clue what's going on. And when they show up into a store and buy it, they're completely confused because it's not what they actually wanted to buy. Genius. That being said, this stuff does smell really good, so I guess the joke's on me. In fact, it smells like the old discontinued Code Profumo, which is another strange thing that these companies do. Come out with fragrance, people love the fragrance, discontinue the fragrance, come out with a new fragrance, discontinue that fragrance, but keep the name, but put it in a new bottle, but then make it smell like the original fragrance that you came out with years ago that you discontinued.
Bruh.
What the f? All the trickery removed, this one does smell absolutely fantastic. Very simple note breakdown, tonka, nutmeg, and green mandarin. Also has kind of a leathery aspect to it, but not as prominent as you're gonna find in Code Elixir. Sparkly, sweet, warm, and absolutely attention-grabbing. Where will we go next on our fragrant journey together? Let's go next with Guilty by Gucci, the original. Now yes, with Gucci Guilty, you may see that and go, nah, but I am here to tell you, dear friend, that yes, Gucci Guilty works. In fact, that's why it still exists and hasn't been discontinued and replaced, and why it is still consistently a top-selling fragrance. In terms of the note breakdown, pretty simple. There's lemon in here off the top, so a little citrus, clean lavender, orange blossom, and a little bit of woodiness, and vanilla in the base. That's pretty much it. Just like I said, very simple. One thing that makes this one work even better nowadays, and it always has worked extremely well, again, to be clear, is this type of fragrance kind of making a comeback. Stuff like YSL Myself, that clean, white floral forward scent profile that's effortlessly elegant, clean, refined, and fresh. People go absolutely crazy for that stuff, and Gucci Guilty is actually one of the best in that style. The next fragrance is not one that I really like a whole lot. Yeah, I just don't really care for it. These two, sure, nice. The next one, bleh. But in terms of women loving it, for some reason, yes they do. 1 million Parfum. Actually looking at this right now, this is like Hereditary. 1 million Parfum is like the Paimon fragrance. Oh, do you get it? Like the little things around there?
Paimon.
Now to be clear, if you have not watched Hereditary, don't watch Hereditary. There's gonna be some kid out there like, oh, I gotta watch that. Mom, Gents told me to download Hereditary. Not safe for work, not safe for kids. So like I said, 1 million Parfum, I'm not in love with it, but it works really, really well. It is sweet, quite sweet. You have tuberose in here, you have leather, you have solar notes, which is what this whole thing is about. And it smells a little bit sunscreen-ish, sunscreen-like. In fact, the inspiration behind the fragrance was just that, basically sunscreen lotion spilled inside of a leather bag. So thinking of that image gets you part of the way there. You just gotta add some sugar and salt over top. In typical 1 million fashion, it is quite loud. It projects, it lasts forever. And also to give credit to this fragrance, it does smell really unique compared to most other things out there in the designer realm. Bros, the next one is a doozy. But before the doozy, the code C. Coupon codes. Got a lot of them. Joma Shop ones have updated, as always happens every quarter. Captain Morgan. And we also got codes for Fragflex, the perfume box, and many other stores. So anytime you shop at these stores that you see on your screen, these stores, yep, those ones, use those codes to save yourself some cash money. So the next one, which is a doozy, is this one right here, Extra Dose by Valentino. And it does scream, it is loud. That's one of the reasons you won't be able to walk by you without noticing. That never hurts. So this one has lavender, spices, woods, also has a very vanilla sort of sweetness to it, almost a little touch of licorice to me. So it's gonna be in that style, that wheelhouse of Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense. There's a similarity between this one and that one. This one though, not leaning as hard on the vanilla, a little bit more so on the lavender side of things with this. Just like Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense though, Extra Dose is a big time compliment puller. Gets a lot of attention and really versatile as well. You can wear this one just about whenever you want, though in the middle of summer, maybe something else, because it is pretty strong. Let's go a little different with the next one, La Nuit de l'Homme, but this one is not the original. This is Le Parfum. Ooh, I like that. Le Parfum for me, one of those fragrances that consistently crushes, that not many people out there are wearing or even know about nowadays. Because not for nothing, but the peak, the pinnacle of La Nuit de l'Homme, that is in the past, right? Now, I'm not taking anything away from that fragrance. It slaps. We all know that legendary release, right? One of the best evening date night fragrances. We all know. But all you really have to do is look at what YSL is doing, right? They're doing Myself. Not the fragrance. They're doing Myself releases. And they're also doing the Y lineup. So that's really what they're concentrating on. L'Homme and La Nuit de l'Homme, they've kind of left for dead, like the classic zombie shooter. But just because YSL is not treating the L'Homme and La Nuit de l'Homme lines right, doesn't mean that we can't. This one right here smells fantastic off the top. A nice fruity sweetness, fresh spices. Clean lavender, sweet vanilla as it dries down. The stuff, amazing for fall and winter time. Good evening out fragrance. Honestly, just good fragrance in general once it starts to get a little cooler out. So right now as I shoot this video, the high is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, roughly 20-ish Celsius? Is that right? Yeah, it's 20-ish, 20 and a half, something like that maybe. Going off memory, I feel like that's close. I hope. Otherwise I look like a complete putz. But the weather right now, a little overcast, this stuff, perfect. Also really solid longevity compared to the original La Nuit, so just can't go wrong with that stuff. Which one is next? L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum by Guerlain. Talking about fragrance lines that are neglected, here's one, unfortunately. Now I do hope that they bring this back full force or come out with a new line that can kind of pick up that mantle and run with it. But for now, who knows what they're doing. But you can still find this easily. You can still buy this easily. So who cares, I guess, at the end of the day. This one really well known for cherry. There is a good dose of cherry in here. You can pick it up as soon as you spray it on. You have a little smoke in there. You've got almond, you have leather, you have tonka. It's a really rich fragrance, robust. And this is a fragrance that has a lot going on. You've got a decent amount of sweetness in there, the cherry, the vanilla. So you have it coming across different ways. Fruity, also slightly powdery, rich, deep, you know, different types of sweetness. You have a little bit of smoke in there, some fresh spice, warm spice, even floral aspects along the edges. So it's a nicely developed, deep, rich, designer style fragrance that's also really attention grabbing, quite unique, and also gonna be flying under the radar more than some of the more popular releases out there. So just a lot to like. Let's talk about something a little bit fresher up next. Paradise Garden, part of the Le Beau line by Jean Paul Gaultier. This stuff, the original Le Beau and Le Beau Le Parfum. Those three fragrances, man, just all three cannot go wrong with, but I wasn't gonna put all three in here, so I just mentioned them. Now this one has green aquatic notes when you first spray it on, which is a little reminiscent to the color of the fragrance itself, I guess. It looks like water and it's green and fresh. You also have mint and ginger off the top, so it's got this nice briskness, this kind of like fresh zing to it. You have a slightly creamy tropical coconut fig combination in there. A little bit of like a sea salty vibe as well, just a touch of that. And then also tonka and sandalwood as it dries down. So a little more of that creaminess kind of creeping in along with additional sweetness as it dries. Spring, summer, early fall, this stuff, nuts. And really easy to find nowadays. It's not like cheap, it's not heavily marked down, but it's easy to find. I say that because when it first came out and for a number of months afterwards, if you were in the US, it was like, good luck. Popped up at discounter, sold out in 2 seconds, then your only other option was like eBay or ordering from Europe. The next one, if you're solely after compliments, one of the best ones out there right now. It's the Most Wanted Parfum. Also the original, the Most Wanted, that one works too. No breakdown here, pretty simple. You got red ginger off the top. They had to spice it up, you know, make it more interesting. It's not just ginger, it's red ginger. Sounds like a Korean restaurant, but probably a pretty good one. As it dries down, incandescent woods, bourbon, vanilla, so a really warm, gourmand leaning fragrance, you know, just kind of leaning in that direction. Touch of smoke, and then that woodiness, a nice masculine backbone for all the other sweet notes to kind of pop and play off of. Great performance as well. This stuff absolutely lights out. Fall, winter, in the evening, spray this on. You're gonna have problems. Hopefully good problems. Hopefully not like, you know, getting beat up by a bouncer problems. That's not as good. The next fragrance I'm gonna keep with a very similar color scheme here, at least as far as the gradient at the bottom of the bottle, I guess. It is Bad Boy Elixir by Carolina Herrera. When this one was first announced, it had the unholy trio of notes. That's right, the boring 3-note note breakdown, and it was about as boring as you could possibly get. Cedar, leather, and sage, I believe it was, which is just, who cares? But then they learned, which all brands should do, and after it came out, they gave us a fuller, more opulent note breakdown. Opulent, you know, if somebody dead serious looks you in the face talking about designer fragrances at like a Macy's counter or something, and they start telling you how opulent the note breakdown is, just walk away. Just turn around, just walk away. So what did they add to that note breakdown to make this one more opulent? Well, they added cocoa, can't go wrong with that. Everybody likes chocolate, right? Also lavender, bergamot, incense, orange, and even iris? To me, this one gets slept on. Like, everybody really likes Bad Boy Cobalt for good reason, and that one actually is probably the safer choice for compliments if you're looking in the Bad Boy lineup. But Elixir here, you know, it gets no love. And to me, this is like the best version of that original Bad Boy DNA. It performs, it projects, it lasts. The chocolate smells fantastic. It has an almost slight nuttiness to it, while at the same time having a little complexity going on, a nice slight refined edge to it, while still having nice sweetness that people really enjoy. So Bad Boy Elixir, get a little more love. Get in this list, get in there. And the last one for today is a Spice Bomb. Not just any Spice Bomb though, it's infrared eau de parfum. I do have to say, I think it was this one. I bought it from Macy's, and the first one came in and it leaked everywhere, so I had to send it back. I got another one, same thing, leaked everywhere. Third one did not leak, so yay. I know Spice Bomb has had some issues with some of their fragrances where they just, yeah, they leak everywhere. Like the crimp that they're doing on these bottles, some of them it's just not working. And when I say leak everywhere, I'm not talking about like, oh, there's a little drop. I'm talking about when the bottle arrives. If you've ever gotten a bottle that's leaked in transit, you know what I'm gonna tell you. Like everything is flaying off the bottle. Like all the paint somehow has come off the bottle, the label, you can't read it. It turns into just like liquid death. Not the water, but like actual. It ruins everything. So this one has leather, woods, and chili in there. Yeah, a good amount of chili, along with red/pink pepper and also cinnamon. You get it, it's red notes because infrared. This one's gonna be less sweet than the eau de toilette, more of an emphasis on the spices, the woods, and that touch of leather as well. And I do wanna make this clear, if you're looking for a more youthful, sweeter fragrance, then infrared eau de toilette is gonna work better for you. If you want the one that's a little bit more elevated, like you would expect from an eau de parfum flanker, not as sweet, not as heavy-handed with that, but still having great performance, then you wanna go eau de parfum. So really this slot here is kind of both of the infrareds. It's just which flavor are you looking for? And there we go. According to this fragrance scientist, these right here, you can't go wrong with. And one thing you'll notice bumping these up against each other, most of them really sweet. And a lot of them have aspects of freshness to go along with that sweetness, whether it's fresh spice, fruits, whatever. Most of the time, if you're looking for something that's like a guaranteed people pleaser, that's what you want to look for. So again, that'll do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.